I like using the um the charts on Webull, but I'd say it's all about preference because YouTube, they have the, I'm sorry, trade, they have their own the the charts on Webull, but I'd say let me just stop this for 1 second. I'm sorry, trade, they have their own charts on Webull, but I'd say let me just stop this for 1 second. I'm sorry, they have their cool. All right, so we perfect now. I think we good. So yeah, so I think honestly, this is about preference. Like Katie, I know he liked to use Webull, so maybe somebody to ask that. I like the charts on there look really good, but I'm not sure they compare in terms of like it's been around a lot longer, and it's not just it's a you can do so many different things to it. So I just but I'm sure they're enhancing that. But I guess for now it's probably a preference in terms of which one you like. So, but yeah, just to kind of get started. Again, thank you all for joining. The point of this is just to kind of show everyone how I configure my indicators, and just so since we all trade together, a lot of times I may be on one time frame using one indicator, some discrepancies on time frames, indicators, and how to configure them. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I would like to do is just, this is a bear chart. Like, so I have a bear chart. I haven't even named this one yet. So you can have, with the good thing about this platform, you can create multiple layouts. So this is this layout that I'm making now. And first thing we like to do is just before, and again, we always talk about indicators and stuff like that. Again, you don't need a lot of indicators. And with TradingView, you can actually again use the original, use the base one, just like the first one up from the basic version, because that version you can get like up to 5 indicators on there. So, and bunch of indicators now. So, but again, to get started, what I like to do, and I got the ones that I like to use here as favorites, right? But the first one, I know you always see me with the numbers on my candles and stuff. Like, so you put those, I got the numbers on, and again, everything that's on here, I'm gonna send everything to y'all or whatever, so you can just add them to your chart. But I like to have them on there. I don't have them on every single chart, but I like to have the numbers on there, so we know candles be so close together and you can't see when it tick out the high or the low. So you'll know, like, if it has, or if it's an inside candle because it's a 1, if it ticks out the low or the high, one side or the other. It's a 2 because the 2 is a directional candle, and the 3 is the engulfing candle where it take out both sides. So so I keep those on there. But the main thing, again, even without the numbers, and these, I can live without the numbers, right? But I need my EMAs. A lot of times I'll just I like a bear chart, and as a matter of fact, which EMA is this? Second. Yeah, this is a 9 EMA. I make my 9 EMA blue just so, and the good thing is I just so when I see colors, I use colors to define a lot of stuff on the chart. And you can just go in here and just change whatever, how you want it to look. And then another important thing that I like to point out here, because it'll kind of clear up, it'll free up your chart from being cluttered. I go in here under visibility. So again, this is my 9 EMA. Now this is going to come in handy when we use VWAP, because, and I'll talk about that in a second. So let's say I don't want that 9 EMA to be on my weekly or my monthly chart, but I like to use minutes, my day, and my hour chart. So I'll leave it on there. So the visibility is on for those. Okay, cool. All right, cool. And I got it set. All right, that's fine. So when I go over and change, and again, one thing you see up here, I already went and set these, but up here you can set the time frames you like, and you can star the time frames that you really use frequently. So I got my day, my week, my hour, and my 5-minute. I got them listed. 1 second. I'm gonna go back in here into my indicators, and I'm gonna add another EMA. By default, it defaults to 9, but I'm gonna go in here and make sure this is that's a new one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And now again, it depends on which ones you're using to determine which charts you want them to show on. So right now, this is going to be the 50. I'm gonna make this one my 50. So I'm gonna make this one that color and change this to 50. That's all you're doing. And I don't have the 50 on all the time. What I like to do sometimes is, so I didn't pay this no mind. See, I didn't have my 50 on my daily today. It was only on my weekly. So the 9 EMA is about to cross above the 50 on the daily. So we got a nice little signal here. Now, again, I'm not going to make this about CPI because we're obviously here to do indicators, but it kind of leads into what we're talking about. But look at this. So, and now I'm going to go into some other indicators first, but I like to use now over here up in the side panel. It's a lot of tools here. So yours may not look like this, and it's going to seem basic, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to really help you maneuver the platform and make it a lot easier for you to use. So right here, this is obviously the pointer. I just got it as the cross because, I could actually see sometimes when I want to look at a line or something, it just got this cross pointer, but you can actually change that to anything. It doesn't really make a difference, whether you use the arrow, the dot, or that, obviously that's an eraser, but so obviously I go here, this first one. Now, this is where I draw my trend line with the trend line tool here. So if I'm looking at this pattern and I come across, I'm just going to do it like this and use this tool to add my lines to the pattern. Now, by default, if you're using this tool, right, it's going to automatically. So if you left click again, it's going to automatically keep bringing this tool. What you want to do when you're done, just right click on it. And it's going to automatically change back to this pointer for you. So you don't got all of these lines on the chart. And another thing that's important to make things easier. So now that I got these lines on here, I'm going to go back up here where the trend tool was at, but I'm going to go down and choose the horizontal ray. And if I didn't, I'm gonna show y'all, how when sometimes you go put a line on the chart and it's like not accurate, you got to go keep re-editing them and everything. Hold on, my bad. I'm gonna show you how I do this in a second, but I just gotta change this back. Hell, let it go. Making sure it was there. All right, it's just so thin, or maybe it's just the color I used. Yeah, maybe it was the color. I don't know, but that's kind of. All right, that's what it was. That's what it was. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So get that off. And I like this. You can just undo stuff on here too, and it'll get it off there for you. But anyway, so a lot of times you go to put a line or something, and it's kind of hard to get it to snap in or to be accurate on the wick or whatever. So what I do is I go and I put this horseshoe on. It's a little horseshoe over here. It's a weak magnet, or I can do a strong magnet. If I change it to a strong magnet, because that one is a weak magnet, I'm gonna change it to the strong one. So now when I go use that tool again, and I go click on some or whatever, but it does put it on there accurately though. So I don't gotta go funnel around for it. It's gonna automatically find that point And it makes it easier when you're doing your lines and stuff like that. So it's just something to keep in mind. And another thing, again, right click on it to get that tool off, because otherwise every time I left click, it was going to bring another one of the lines. I don't want these here. So I'm gonna go click this now and I can just delete it from here. But every time it brings this editor up here and I can go and change. So like if I'm marking my triggers, like for calls and stuff like that, like I'm gonna go and put this here. And I'm gonna just change this color to green. And I can either right click this and duplicate this by cloning it, or I can just go ahead and just and make another one, or just clone the one. Like it didn't matter because I was just going to change the color anyway. But hold on. That strong magnet can be annoying at times, y'all, because it kind of like it tries to go to the first available, and it's still not even. A lot of times you can just do like this so you get more, you can see it better. But it's important to get these right sometimes when you're trying to set triggers, because you want to make sure that you got the right price level, especially when you low a day or something like that. Sometimes you want to make sure you get it right. So it's good to just do that. Make sure you got it. And obviously volume is down here already. And you see, I customized my chart. I got it. I got the gradient color back here and stuff like that. I'll get to that stuff. Like that's like cosmetic stuff a little later. But another thing to use. I know KK and Shmoney asked me about this before, and I couldn't figure out how to do it on TradingView. I'm sorry, on Webull to help y'all. So how to get the volume on the side. So to get the volume on the side, you want to use this here, the visible range volume profile, right? Now, I always edit these because I don't like them this dark on my chart. So I go back and I don't like it that dark on my chart. I just like to fade it out a little bit. So there, but I'm fading it out so it's not too light. And it's just in a way, but I can see it, so it's there. And another thing with that also, I'm gonna show you another cool trick too. Now, again, you gotta use and again, like I said, you don't have to have any more than the 5 indicators with the first tier of TradingView. But sometimes it depends on how you like to trade. You know what I mean? Like I said, I only have the one with the 5 indicators. I haven't had a reason to have more than 5 indicators on my chart because I can, volume and price action is just there already. So I got them already. Now, another tool I like to use, because I'll go in here. You see where this little, because again, sometimes there's a lot of stuff here. All you got to do is get the little arrow to come out and you can see what stuff is in here. So I use the rectangle tool a lot and come in here, and that magnifying glass make it easier. See, but I don't like it with the super magnet on there because it makes it crazy. But I come in here and I mark my zones like this, so I can know where my where my the gaps are. Left click to get this off, and you can make this any color you want. You can make it darker, whatever. And so this is where I draw my gaps. And I got another one here. Go ahead and get that one too. Yeah, that tool come in handy though. The tool, I like it because it makes it a lot easier. And then you can drag, click one of these and drag. Now, hold on. Again, like I said, it's going to be a lot of trial and error, but it's cool. It's accurate though. And so I got my gaps in here. And again, this is the daily. So let's say I don't want this wedge. No, I probably want that on the daily, but I may not want this on. No, this is a good one right here. You know how we talk about, and I tell you all the time, like, when I post a chart in in the like I guess chart alerts or whatever, and you want to just follow one of those charts for when it hit the trigger for puts, you can go over here and you can just right click on here and go ahead and you can hit add an alert on the horizontal ray. So when you add this alert, it's going to bring it up here. You can have it puts, you can have it so it only hits once when it crosses down, because again, and you can change this to whatever you want, like crossing up. This is crossing down pretty much here, but I'm saying I'm just going to leave it at crossing, because like if I say crossing down, then that means it's only going to hit it when it crosses down. And that's what we really want, because I know y'all probably saw some of the alerts that were coming in the chat the other day, when every time it hit the trigger for calls, whether it was going up or down, it would send that alert. And you could change, it could text your phone, you can have it send you an email alert, or whatever you want to do, and you can name the alert so you know exactly what it is. I know KK used the alerts in Webull a lot, so it's just something you can do. So if you're using the same platform and I put a chart there, you can go ahead and set those same triggers on your chart so you can follow along if you're not, paying attention, or just so you don't have to be tethered to the market for when it breaks, or you can set them for these trend lines or anything. I think that's a cool feature because, again, we all on the go. We're trading on the go. And the thing about this, if you set it on your laptop or something like that, like, man, if I was to set an alert now, the market's closed, but I'm saying if I set an alert now, or maybe on an after-hour chart or something, man, it sounds like a smoke detector. So it's loud. It's loud. You can change it to different things, but it's loud. It's loud. So it's not like one of them faint alerts you won't be able to see. Important thing that I like to use that may be cool. All right, we gotta go to VWAP real quick. VWAP real quick. So volume weighted average price. So all right, so we got VWAP on here, and go ahead and edit it. See now, yeah, I'm glad I'm showing you this right here, because look, when you put VWAP on your chart, man. And first of all, you don't want to use VWAP on higher time frames. You want to use it on intraday time frames. So I would say like the 4 hour and below, but I don't even use it on the 4 hour. I use it on the hourly and below and lower time frames. But I want to show y'all, like I always change my VWAP to purple so I know what it looks like. But then I've removed the upper and lower bands. It kind of look like Bollinger Bands, a little. And in that by putting a Bollinger Band on and keeping these on to see if there's the same range. But I always turn these off because they be in the way. I don't need the upper or lower bands on my chart. So I turn all of that off. There's a lot of noise. So right now and again, this is a daily. We don't use the VWAP on the daily. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on this and I'm gonna go to edit and visibility, and I'm gonna have it off for all of the higher time frames, because it's not needed on there. So now you don't see it on my daily. And so let me go down to 1 second. It's another cool thing I'm gonna show y'all, but I'm gonna show y'all on the hourly. So all right, you see how the volume changes? Like, all right, for example, you got volume here, like this line right here, this orange line is the POC, the volume point of control. Every time volume point of control. So it's basically, the point of control is just basically where the highest volume point is for that time frame. So y'all hear me say a lot, oh, the SPY just broke back above the POC. I'm talking about the volume point of control for whatever time frame I'm using. So this is the highest point of volume. So we got that there. But look, this is a cool feature right here I like. And again, let me see if I had that indicator on here. What's that indicator called? Maybe. All right, see, so that's the thing it tells you when you have too many EMAs on there and you already at the limit now. And the thing is, I don't need all of these on here because I'm already I think it's this one here though, but I got I'm just going to take these numbers off for now. Go back here. And again, this is just some trial and error that I'm doing session one. All right, cool. Yeah, that's it, I believe. So no, this is not it. This is not it. I don't know what the hell this is. But all right, I'll figure it out. But it's another indicator that I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is not it. That wasn't it. But the good thing is, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. So you can actually go and search and find, obviously different indicators and just look a few things you can search for. But I know I'm looking for a profile. So let's actually, I know I probably have it saved somewhere already. So let me just look and see if I see. I think it may be this one, but I think I may already be using it. 1 second. No, that probably is it. Let's see if I put it on twice, what'll happen. Yeah, that's the same one I'm already using. 1 second. But it's what's going to happen, man. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. But I want to show y'all this one anchor, this one indicator, because it's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's worth it. It's worth it. Is this it? It says new, so I don't think this is it. But let's try and see. No, it's the same one that it's similar to this, but I can actually set the points. You know how like with Fibonacci retracement, with fibs, you can actually go and you can do the lower point, the high and lowest points. You can actually anchor volume that way too from here. And I want to show y'all that. I think is important. I'm sure I don't know why I don't have here. Y'all don't mind me finding it, right? I think it's going to be. There's just so much in here, man. And that's the thing, like you don't want to, like what happens a lot is is analysis paralysis when you're using a bunch of indicators. But like most of the indicators that I use are centered around volume. And that's because volume is everything, it's the bloodline of the stock market. I think that's the same thing. Yeah, I'll just have to figure, because I'm not sure why I can't find it, whatever it is. But yeah, just kind of edit this again to get that off of there. But yeah, it's just so many things that can be done here. But what I was trying to find was another way to adjust this the volume so we could see, but it does adjust per time frame, but it was just one where I can anchor it or whatever. I'll figure out what it's called and but man, so a lot of times what I'm doing when I'm on the lower time frames, now we're in an hourly. What I do is I'll go ahead, because you can have up to 2 charts with the and that's cool. But this is a cool thing. So you know how you can only have 2 charts on here, but I can start as many browser sessions as I want. So so if I got 3 different screens up, I can just open the browser up on 3 different screens and go to any charts that I want, have different ones on. You just can't have a 4 charts in one on this screen, which is okay. Now, one key, I'm gonna tell you, when I first started using this program, it was something that kind of stood out, but it was something that stood out to me, but it was annoying because I couldn't figure it out at first. I was clicking, like, these are 2 separate charts. If you click on this one, you see this little blue box, it highlights the chart that you're clicking on, because what was happening, I was trying to change this chart here to 5 minute, but I had this one highlighted. So when I'm clicking this one changing, I couldn't figure out why, but sometimes this one would change just because you have to click this one to highlight it. Then you can change this time frame on here. So it was something small, but it was worth, I didn't see any instructions on it or anything. It was just something that bothered me a lot, and it was messing me up. So just little small things like, so we're gonna have this one on a 5 minute, right? So we got 5 minute here, SPY is coming down in an after hours session, by the way. And if you wanted to turn on after hours so you can see after hours trading, right? You go here. Now on the daily and above, it won't work. But I mean, because not necessarily the daily, but it don't. But on the hourly, I'm sorry, the monthly and the weekly and stuff like that, you can't. Those time frames already display the after hours stuff anyway, so you don't have to change it on them. But if you come here, it's already like this little gear wheel right here. It already says regular trading hours. I want to change to extended. Now, if you want to fool around with this, don't forget to change it back. And most of the time you won't forget because you'll see these lines here. So you know you're in the after hours now because you got these lines on here. If you want to see news that's going on with SPY or whatever chart you use real time, you can click here and it's going to bring up data in real time, let you know what's going on with it. So that's a cool feature too. But yeah, so we got the after hour. You see SPY is coming down a little. Let's see how it finishes in about an hour and go from there. One sec. And seeing something that's cool. Yeah, so again, I want the after hours on here. But just don't forget to turn them off because a lot of times when you have them on now, okay, so now let's talk about some situational things what we would use. When the market is about to open in the morning, first thing I do, I make sure if I got my 5 minute up, I make sure I got my 9 EMA on. I don't need my 50 or anything on here. I make sure I got swap on. These are the only two things I need on. And let me get this band off of here. It's annoying. So I removed the band, but I still got the that little fill area was still there. And it was cool. It wasn't really in the way, but let you know the top and bottom of the VWAP range, but we only use this VWAP line here. So I make sure I got them on. And this. Look, SPY was active from the beginning today, man. When it broke out, we got a little retracement here, and then it took off, man. And but you see how it respected the 9 EMA the whole time. And a lot of times, this is the problem with the 5 minute lower time frames, why you can't just use them by themselves. And that's why I got the hourly, bring the hourly here, is because for this very reason, it will shake you out of an amazing trade early if you weren't planning on around 115. We got this little breakdown here and Real Wiki broke through the range, but it's a 5 minute time frames. I just wait because if you go look over here, right? All right, so the next candle, all this one closed below the range or whatever, like it was a lot of like little wiki situations, but it's still within, you got to give it some margin at times. But a VWAP, you know what I mean? But sometimes you don't have that. But this is the thing. I'm looking at this is 115. So I'm gonna go over here to 130. Oh yeah, this would have scared me a little bit too. but honestly, looking at the 9 EMA right here, first thing I'm gonna say is it's bouncing off this 9 EMA. And I'm watching what's going on, but I'm probably not gonna be in a trade unless, there's a situation. There's no reason why to be in a trade that long that ran like this. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been out of that trade, let that 1 o'clock stuff happen, whatever happens, and then wait for the reversal at the end of the day, So obviously this is a few days. This was Monday and this is a different day. I'm obviously on different days right now, but today is Thursday, right? Wednesday, sorry. So today I'm gonna go to that time on today. It looks great. This looks great. So the 130 candle the 1230 candle was the one that had this candle in it right here. So I'm like, all right, cool. We still holding above VWAP here, far above VWAP. So this little drop right here, little early signal to nothing isn't going to affect this trade in any way. Because I'm looking at this, I'm watching them. at the same time, just to make sure everything is okay. We never, it was never really a threat at this point of the day for the Bulls. So, but yeah, so I'm watching those two at the same time. So a lot of times if I'm playing a breakout, I'll see a setup happening on a larger time frame. But what I'm doing is I'm coming down to this smaller time frame and I'm looking for a setup. So right now I like to play little flag breaks. So, and see now this little magnet is annoying now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the sensitivity level to weak, but I'm gonna keep it on. So now I go here. And so now I'm ready to play this. I'm looking at little setups happening over here. And just got and the reason I'm just doing it like this is because the moment the range really break down, then I'm done with the trade. But if you look every time, all day, you just was getting these little breakouts. They were happening all day. So a lot of times, if I call out just a little small quick trade, that's why a lot of people wonder why like I don't call out trades just like after power hour or too much after power hour until later on, maybe. Trades like this that I'm finding on a smaller time frame. And if you're not looking at the chart, you thinking it's probably going to last, it's going to be a long trade when like, no, this trade breakout. This was a nice trade. This breakout was a nice trade too. They all were nice breakout trades. This one was even nice, even better. But I'm saying like when this one broke out, it kind of went longer. But the whole point is there are little small breakouts everywhere. And the lower the time frame, the shorter the trade. Too. So if I'm trading off a 5-minute chart, because I'm looking at the structure. So if I'm looking at the structure, right, and I'm like, all right, cool, we got this. And this is probably a bad example here, but I'm just giving you an example, just letting you know like that was little setups all over the place. And 1 second. And just like I was showing y'all with I want these times, you don't have to do it. Just take it off the hourly so it doesn't show up on there, because you don't want that on there. Then you got double the work and it's just in the way. So I just go and I do it as I'm moving around. I'm gonna do it later. And so there we go. Get them off of there. So we got our chart, we got our setups and everything. And the thing, and like I said, these smaller time frames, man. And one thing I don't have on this chart right now is VWAP. I mean MACD. I should have MACD on here. So I'm gonna add that on here. And MACD. See that as a favorite also. Y'all good? Y'all able to hear me? Everything cool?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, cool. Because I thought everything had froze for a second. So we got MACD on here. And now if y'all got questions, y'all can you can unmute and ask the questions. So because I just happened to look up when my volume had dissipated and I saw that it was questions in the chat, but it's probably I can't look at it while I'm doing this. But right here, this was a good setup right here though. I like how we got this breakout. We got the candle confirmation. We got a retest of the 9 EMA right here. And we got strong volume coming in. We got MACD confluence because we got the MACD line crossing above the signal line. And we got the green oscillator bars shot through the stratosphere into the final seconds of the market. We just they ran that up. They ran that up just to flush it tomorrow and kill everybody, crush everybody tomorrow. But yeah, so it's a few of these setups, man. Just like, but again, I don't use the same indicators all the time. Like for example, if I go up to the daily, the daily, I'll use my MACD on the daily, you see this is a crazy bullish situation. Now, I'm gonna tell you something that'll be really bad if it happens. It's a shame that we can't, and this ain't the time for this, but we talk about indicators, so this is the perfect time to talk about it. It's a shame that we can't look at this chart, this beautiful chart with the 222 reversal on the daily, right? We can't look at this beautiful 222 reversal on the daily with the wedge break and gap up with the 9 EMA crossing above the cross above the 50 EMA. We can't look at this with MACD line crossing above the signal line with good volume, substantial volume. The volume was higher than the previous day's volume, so that's great volume. And green oscillator bars. We can't look at this and say, oh, I'm certain that SPY is going to fill this gap up to 400. We'll fill this gap up to at the that's about 400, the 39.50, 399.5. That's a lot of, it's a big situation right here. That's all I'll say. It's so if in a regular world, we would be able to say, man, this is bullish. And the chart tells a story. Every chart tells a story. This chart is bullish. But we can't look at this and say that with certainty that that's what's going to have a CPI report coming out pre-market. And I almost feel like they ran the market up and they took it up even higher. We can look at it two ways. It got taken up by market makers to protect the downside. So, to cushion the blow if CPI is higher than 6.5%, or they ran it up to FOMO traders into grabbing a whole bunch of calls so they can get clapped tomorrow. What you think, Katie?
Now, is it still 6.5? They didn't change it?
Nope, they didn't change it. I checked right before the market closed. They changed. It's still 6.5. I'm gonna check it again tonight, but it's still 6.5.
They be changing the last minute.
Exactly. Yeah, they didn't say. Did Biden say anything? Did the president come out and say anything about Steve?
Man, I don't care about him anymore. He just be messing me up sometimes. I just feel like ignore him.
Yeah, but sometimes
he comes out late. He comes out late.
Yeah, he'll come out late. But I mean, if CPI was going to be really good, he'll come out leading before. He wouldn't come out before. If it was bad, really bad, the White House would have made a statement, possibly warning that, blaming everybody else for the inflation being high. So we'll see how. Because we also got unemployment data tomorrow too. So
yeah, a lot of things.
Yeah, so, and we got two Fed speakers
during the day.
Yeah, actually they got Bullard coming out after CPI. So Bullard's coming out in the afternoon, and we got Harker coming at 7:30 in the morning before CPI, hour before CPI. So yeah, probably not gonna get no sleep tonight. But it's just like this. It's crazy. We can't look at a bullish chart like this and say with certainty that the market is gonna that it's gonna run tomorrow, because it's just crazy. This is the perfect storm. We started breaking the gap fill. We started to penetrate this gap fill, and it just seems like this. But like I also said a second ago, about a few hours ago, there's no road to. I'm gonna take this other chart off for a second. There's no road, and technically, I've been telling y'all this for weeks. This is a beautiful bull flag on the weekly. It's a downtrend, but it's a weekly chart. Each candle represents 1 week of price action, but this is a bull flag. Look at this. This is a bull flag. And this is a bull flag. So we got a big bull flag on the weekly, and there's no road. There's no road above 400. But above 402, 401 without breaking this downtrend right here, which would reverse the trend. We would be breaking out of a massive bull flag on the weekly, causing a trend reversal. And that means that, that would just, like like recession thing, the whole everything, if that happens. So I think that tomorrow what happens, even if, Katie, even if, and I do got another chart, but I'm saying even if tomorrow, if CPI is good, if it's in line with the expectation, I can see it going up and testing the top of this, but not taking it out. That's what the last CPI did. So on the last CPI, look at this. So this was 410.
I mean, the last one was better than expected. And
Yeah.
the thing is, it was a day before FOMC, and I don't know if that made
that was
people
it.
worry about that. Yeah.
Oh, and it was. So hold on, so it was better than expected. So that, but that would have been, that was a good thing. But you're right, though. It was before FOMC. It still was important. You know what? I totally forgot about that data point. That's the reason why is important, y'all, because I totally forgot. That's the difference right there. We had, and I don't know the last time we had FOMC and CPI back to back. We were talking about that. So
No, I never seen that.
yeah. So now, so if CPI is really good, it could break through here. But like I said, I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm call me cynical or whatever, but I'm just not convinced, man. I'm not convinced that that's gonna come and save everybody tomorrow. I don't got that happening right now. So I feel like tomorrow we yeah, we'll see. But like I said, I'm hedged either way. I got some, I'm in a lot of stuff, man. I'm in some Netflix calls, I'm in some SPY calls, I'm in SPY puts. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on, man. Just like playing some games, man. Just because I'm always bearish right now. I've been bearish since with the like I said, the chart tells a story. I've been bearish. So we'll see. We will see. But this is a big bull flag. But it's also, there's some key points to this chart that I want to point out, though, that this top range right here was created last January. We ran up that, but this is what they say. This is the old age in the stock market. This is what they say. They say, however we move, and there's some, we can just check and see how accurate this is too while we're looking. They say, however, whatever direction the stock market goes the first week of the year, it takes on that form for the rest of the year. So the first week of the year, right? Was January 3rd, 2022. We ran up, and this week closed. It got rejected up here and violently sold off. We hit a new all-time high, and it violently sold off. And then we've been in a downtrend trying to catch up ever since. So this first week of 2023, we ran up, and now in the second week, which is right now, that ends in 2 days ahead of a 3-day weekend. This one, so it's 2 weeks in a row right now, and that we're technically, oh shit, I didn't realize this. Technically, so this is right now, I wouldn't call, but this is a green. This isn't green, but yeah, so 2 weeks in a row, we had green weeks, I'll say. Yeah, and this week isn't over because we'll see how it ends. But let's just look at a piece of that data though. So now if we go to January of 2021. Right here, this was a red. Okay, this was a January 2021. The market was up, and we did trend up until 2022. That's crazy, right? So look, let's go to 2020. Sheesh. Now, obviously, there are caveats to this one, but let's do it anyway. Let's see how it reigns true. I don't know about this one because of COVID. But let's see. Yeah, I don't think this one will count because of COVID. Is this a daily or weekly? Yes, weekly. I don't think this one's going to count. Yeah, this one won't count because of COVID. Because we had started going up, but then we had COVID. But it still ran up for the rest of the year after the COVID drop. We just kept going up. But that was QE also. But hey, it still followed the trend. Let's see if it happened before then. Because we got to pay attention to certain things. All right. So first week of 2020. of 2019 ran up, man. We ran up that whole year. So we got to pay attention to the numbers. The data don't lie a lot of times. So this could be a situation where that happened. And then, Meta already sold off and already did what they needed to do. Netflix already did what they need to do, although I think they're going to miss them subscriber numbers again. And they say it doesn't matter, but I think it's still going to be a factor. But it's a lot of these stocks already sold off and whatever. But like I said, I don't care about none of this, man. I care about the CPI prints. And the reason I care about them CPI prints is because I'm going to go back to my original, because I got another thing in here. So this is my original one, and I'm going to go to the weekly. I want y'all to see this. I just posted this chart, but I didn't want to draw and all of that again. So, but check this out. We got a lot going on in this market, man. And I get it. I get that we can't be bearish forever and everything. But look, every time the major moves we made in the market was because of these CPI prints. This was the December CPI print where we hit this high up here, and it fizzled out, and it went up to 410, 411, and by close of business that day, it was back down to. This was the October lows from the October CPI, where where I'm looking for us to take this low out, because we still need to take, if this plays out, we need to take this low out. But that's why I'm saying, I think tomorrow, if it's a good CPI print, we could run up here. But what if the jobs data come out tomorrow and it's like, it could be different things that could happen. It's only one data point. This one is just market moving. I haven't seen a CPI that hasn't sold. So, and if not that Thursday, that Friday, but these last few CPIs either ran it up. We had some movement that we were able to take advantage of at market open. Now, so again, if it runs up tomorrow, if it's in line or just whatever, and it runs up and it doesn't break out of this trend, you better take profit at market open and what I'm just saying, like, that's what I would do for next week or something. But if I'm thinking we could run up here, we could still hit 400 and not clear the 50-week EMA and then sell off. We could do that, or we break up there and we still don't take out, like if we go to 402, we can go to 402 without taking out this downtrend and then violently sell off. But like I said, the only road to us going to 405 is breaking out of this downtrend. But keep in mind, it can break out of this downtrend and still close down. So like I wouldn't believe in any fake outs unless the market, like if we were to break out of this trend, if it doesn't really make any noise, like for example, when we broke out of here, when we broke out right here, we ran up to 410. That was $2. We were already talking about buying puts at the top because it didn't make no noise, remember? And that's what we did. We were thinking about this double top from November. So, and that's what it did. It double top right here and died. So it's a possibility it could break out of here. But if this week doesn't close, because keep in mind, this isn't a daily or a hourly or something like that. This is a weekly. You still got to wait for the candle confirmation. So if you were to just think this is bullish because it breaks out of here and the momentum doesn't continue to the point where it take us somewhere where we like, all right, it's almost certain that it's going to on Friday, then it's a possibility that it comes back down the next day and it still close under here and then violently sell off going into the weekend. So we still need, if it breaks out of here, we need a candle confirmation, or this is just a typical head fake on a weekly. And it's very hard for me to believe. And again, this is just me. I'm gonna just have to be shown. I'm not saying that I'm biased either way. I have to be shown that we're gonna really break in the whole year. But like I said, the history shows over the last few years that when we whatever the first week of the year is, that's how we end up being. So, but it still doesn't mean we won't have some nasty news that can come out and take us back down to take this level out in the beginning of the year, in the first quarter, and then still finish the year higher. You get what I'm saying? Like what happened with COVID. But I do want to check one thing, since we're comparing this stuff so much. If we went back to when we had the Great Recession, I want to see how that theory worked, because we're supposed to be on our way into a recession right now. So I need to know how the market played out after 2018, or you know what I mean? I mean, a year ago, I'm sorry, from 2007 going into 2008. So hold on. Because right now would be 2008, my bad, 2008. Yeah. Let's go to, all right, here. Yeah, we're toast. It's like, no. So no, this year, so you can see here, go right here. So this was the first week. It was green. It finished red on the first week, and then we were in a downtrend since. So let's see when this turned around. 09. See, now here we go. Is it a hole in this? Is it a hole in it? Let's see if it's a hole in it. Let's see if there's a hole in this. All right, so here's the first week. It was down. It finished red. And nope, this year finished. Let me see. This is November. Yeah, this looked like this one finished. Now hold up. Where was it? And 09. Yeah, we finished higher. We finished higher in this one. So this was before, this was after we were just coming out of the we were still technically in a recession, but not coming out of recession. But yeah, so I guess that's a while ago. That's a long while ago. I just wanted to compare the years because they're making all of these comparisons from 2008 to, but y'all see how why I use this 50 EMA so much though, because, and this is just on the weekly, but you see how it be playing out, man. When price is above it, it's above it. And when it's below it, it's below it. And we've been getting rejected. And obviously, sometimes you have situations where, you know, the market is doing what it's doing, like now, where we're in a downtrend. But yeah, it's a big, but you see how what I'm saying, guys, it's just like, there's this, you see these big sharp moves. It's either FOMC or it's a CPI week. But most of the big moves are like, this is FOMC, but I'm saying most of these big moves are CPI or CPI driven. So we got those two data points that that kind of give us, that causes the market to either run up or run down, and it's been catastrophic. And I feel like they've been instrumental in creating pivots in the market. So right now we got the market going up. The report is bad. Like, because I'm just saying, out of all numbers that they could have chosen, whoever is responsible for measuring the data or coming up with the estimates, right? Why did they choose 6.5? Why didn't they choose like 6.8 or something that was more attainable, maybe? And again, like I said, I feel like 6.5 is attainable because I didn't believe, like when we jumped up to 9.1, people didn't think that was it because we were going off the data. But then people saying now the data is starting to reflect you know, that the numbers are becoming good. So we'll see tomorrow morning. But I'm just saying, this is where these data points are pivotal in figuring out what's going on. What's up, Red Nose?
If the data is getting better, why eggs still like $10? Like, that's what I want. I don't see it either.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. There's different things. Like, for example, like I remember when we had the event in the summertime, I was telling you that we weren't going to start seeing like the fertilizer shortage wasn't going to start to kick in until the fall. So even if we start getting better, the fertilizer shortage is affecting the food. It's affecting food. And PPI was a little lower last time, PPI, and so jobs are still affected too. So the people that we got to look at it also, that it's so many moving parts. If we got different companies that are still short because now their employees work for themselves or just not working for pennies anymore, they got to pay more. So they're only going to hire less people. So now we're not getting as many eggs because there's less people out there doing the fertilizing or whatever the situation is. It's like that butterfly effect situation. or I guess that's a bad analogy, but like a domino effect. But yeah, so we get those types of situations that kind of affect. So it's like now it's so hard for us to sit here and detect what's going to happen. Like I said, anybody could look at the market and say, okay, cool, this downtrend is here, so we're going to get rejected right here again. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it break out tomorrow. That's what we got to pay attention to. I don't care if it breaks out in random. If it breaks out, I hope it runs to 410 if it breaks out, right? So that would be good for us all. But and yeah, but that's just what we just got to look at it for what it is. And but yeah, another thing that I think that will kind of, I guess it'll help out too, if you if like just with these charts, because I just you can go in here and you can put events in here. You can put earnings on your charts. You can put all types of stuff on here. I don't really use this stuff much, but you can put this information on here so you can see. I just wanted to show y'all that it's actually data on the application that you can use too. So it's pretty useful. It's a robust thing. But like I said, the alerts is the best, and you can even rewind the charts and do different things. So and then also I think if we're all using it, you can if chart or something, you can post your charts, and it's easy to just grab a screenshot by clicking right here. You know, you can grab that screenshot and you can paste it right in the chat. So there won't be no reason why we can't have conversations and exchange ideas about charts and stuff like that if we are using this platform. So that's good. But I mean, did y'all good on that? I mean, did I make a lot of this stuff clear? I mean, was it easy to use? I mean, there are other things that obviously you can do, but what'd you say, Katie?
Yeah. Nah, that volume thing you had, right? Was it just as simple as it was one of them indicators on the left that you click?
Oh yeah, so up here, so I got it as my favorites. I'm gonna post this in the chat. I'm gonna post this as a screenshot, or y'all can take the screenshot now. But it's this one right here, the visual, the visual range volume profile. So I don't have it on this specific chart right now. I took it off, but I'm gonna go back over here. I took it off of there because I ain't want it on the week.
Is it the same thing as the volume on the bottom?
Yeah, so so look, all right, so yeah, good question. That's a good question. So this is volume by time, and that's volume by price. So like, for example, this is good. That's a great question. See, man, Katie, you asked the best question of the whole joint. So it's volume by price. So like, for example, I'm gonna turn that indicator on right now. I'll tell y'all why that's a good question. He just knocked y'all on the head with that one. I mean, that's a good thing. So if I know, like I said right here, this orange line right here is the volume point of control. I call it the POC. So if we're on a weekly chart and I know that this is the POC, that means that's the highest point of volume, the point of control where the highest volume is at see, it's moving around right now in real time because it's crazy volume. I'm gonna get off the weekly, I'm gonna go to the daily because that's just crazy how that's happening in real time right now. But so on the daily, the highest volume point right now is, hold on, this is jumping around too. 1 second. 395.50 is the highest volume point right now. And I can believe that because that's where price had to, it was hard. Like if y'all remember earlier when I kept saying earlier that I think I said 395 something was the line in the sand. I was talking about this level right here because I was like, we got to look at things for what they really are and not for what we want to see. Since this point right here, since price got rejected right there, sorry. Since price got rejected here, this was this was the rally base right here. I'm just gonna come and move because I got this. This is obviously a gap fill too, but I use these the rectangular my supply and my supply and demand zones too. Or so if I use this and just put this here, and try to just pay attention to this for a second. So this is, and I should have used like an hourly. It'd be easier to see on an hourly too. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the hourly. So this, yeah, that's better. And I'm gonna go back to the daily for the POC, but if you look here, this level right here was the highest point since we broke down. And we haven't been able to get back up there because, so I call this like the rally base, right? So this is where price never returned to this level, you know? So when it does, it's gonna act as resistance. And that's what it's doing. So we finally got through here a little, like today, I feel like market makers pushed it through there. And I'm gonna tell you why it's so hard to get through here. It's because previous buyers, you know, they're selling at break even when price finally get back up here, or, you know, or less of a loss. Because think about it, when price went up here, they tried to buy here and they got trapped. So you ever hear me say, well, bulls got trapped? So bulls are trapped right up in here and they stuck in here. So now, and price can never get back up here because every time price try to get up here, it's people selling. So it's just weak. It can never get back up there. So now that it's getting back up here, you know, we needed to have more buyers that can come through to break through the sellers trying to get out of here. And so that's what pretty much happened. So today, so that's why I said this was the line in the sand here. So because we've never been able to get back up there. Now we broke out of this wedge here too. But I'm gonna go back to the daily for a second. And it's so crazy when I squeeze that up like that, now you can see like, but again, this point of control is because it's the highest volume. And again, Katie, just to kind of answer your question now in totality is like volume by price, because 395.49 is the highest volume point. So that's where the most volume is, right there at 395.49. So whether it's buying volume or selling volume, it's going to be hard to get through here if we can't break through. We don't have enough volume. We don't have at least that much volume to get through that selling point or whatever. Because again, this is supply as resistance. So supply zone, but it's resistance. So we got to get through there. So that's why the volume by price is actually good too, because it's not just by time. This is like at this particular time we had high volume, but at this particular price we got the highest volume. So it kind of helps you see like how hard it's going to be possibly to get through this particular area, or if it's going to be, or like, for example, you ever hear me say sometimes, like, and I'm gonna say it again right now. If SPY, let me look at it the daily before I open my mouth and say that. All right, to make sure. If SPY breaks through here, there's nothing that can stop it until it gets up here. There's nothing that can stop it until it gets up here. That's why it's almost like, okay, if it breaks through there, it can get back up to 4. If we break through this, if we can actually get through this zone right here, that means enough buyers came through with enough volume to break through the sellers that were trying to sell. Like the other day, I think it was Monday or Tuesday when we got in Meta, everything was running, but Meta could not move. It was because it was too many sellers trying to get out of positions as we were going through. So it went up to 132.90. Not get through. But when it finally broke through, it was because it was able to break through the sellers, or either the sellers got out, you know. But it's like you gotta, but then you see the volume start to change too. But yeah, so that's why the volume by price is cool, because it gives you an idea of what you're up against. I'm like, oh nah, they ain't gonna be able to get through there unless market makers come through or smart money come through and they really push it through. And that's exactly what smart money did the last few days. Because like I said, we don't have enough money to move the market like this. Smart money did this, gapped it up, and then pushed it through this POC. So the fact that we got through that POC, there's absolutely no reason that if CPI is good, we should not be able to get through here. So if we don't get through there on $1,000 Thursday, like tomorrow, if CPI is bullish, then that means they don't want us to get through there, and we need to buy puts immediately. Because if we can't get through off of that bullish news, if it's bullish, and we just see it hanging around and not really doing anything, and then we go back and we zoom out and look at this weekly, and and we see, okay, this range is still here and it doesn't break through, or like I said, if it breaks through but it doesn't hang up there, nah. Yeah, and again, there's no volume in here on the weekly until we get up above here somewhere. So it's a lot of and all of it plays back into that 410 range. So we finally break through 410. We've rejected it the last 2 times we got there, and we hard rejected it. So you get that much volume where you get up there and you can't stay up there. That's why it be seeming artificial. A lot of these those moves be seeming very artificial to me when that happens. But yeah, that was a great question. And so that's why I think it's good to have on the chart, because then you can see what's going on at different levels. Now, obviously, they're deeper. We can do a whole session on just volume. I talk about volume for hours because it's so many other ways we can use this. That's why I always tell y'all, if I had to choose 2 indicators to use, it would be the only indicators in the stock market that are not lagging indicators. Every other indicator is lagging except for price action and volume. So you give me these candlesticks and volume and I'm good. I don't need nothing else. That's all I need. You take sometimes you got to just take everything off your chart and just look at the data, the naked data itself, and play it like that. But yeah. So, well, I hope that answered your question. I mean,
yeah, for sure. Might add that on. I didn't have that. I have the one on the bottom, but I never added the price volume.
Yeah, it's hard to find. See, if you find it on Webull, let
I got TOS too. He told me he's on Webull as well.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's called Volume Profile on Webull.
Okay, so you did find it on there.
They just added it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember I was trying to find it for Shmoney and I couldn't find it. So yeah.
Yeah, last update they added it, so it's brand new to it.
Oh, they just added.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what Webull did recently? Recently, they just let you buy contracts like until 4 o'clock. They used to cut you off at 2.
Mm-hmm.
The same day expiration. So now Webull, I was using SPX. They let me trade until 4. So
yeah, that's what somebody else was saying that is it true that you can still buy 15 after on there too?
No, I don't think they give you that 15 minutes to buy the contract. I think I tried to do it after 4 and they didn't let me.
Okay, at least they
it's only Thinkorswim.
Yeah, and E-Trade. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's good. That's good information. See, because the last we checked, it wasn't on there, but that's a new update. But yeah, so no, it's good to have, man. Like I said, it helps. I know it's so many other things, but like I said, we can just do a whole. I can do a whole course on volume. So it's so many other things that we can do with just volume alone. Just like just analyzing the like all of the zones itself, and just everything that the volume because like price equals truth. If price is the only truth in the stock market, so it's just like it's so many things we can do. Like I always believe what the price says, not what my emotions say or anything. Is always what the price says. The price going to tell me whether I believe it or not is up to me, but the price going to tell me everything. But yeah, that's all I have, man. That's all I have. I know I took up a lot of y'all time. Sorry for starting late, but we had some technical difficulties, and this was recorded, so it's on YouTube, and I'll post a link in the chat. But our next one we can do them just on volume, man. We can do some. I can give y'all like some cool tips on volume.
That'll be a dope.
Go there. Go.
Oh, that's one.
I think that's the most important one for sure.
Yeah, man. Y'all thank KD for that question, because that was a solid question.
This is one of the best.
Shout out KD.
Yeah, 100. Shout out KD.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Red Nose?
This is probably one of the best study groups I've been in.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So she said our other study groups, right?
No,
Was
it just
No, I'm just
I
messing with you.
learned a lot with this.
Cool, cool. Oh, no, I'm
Like
glad that you did.
like my chart gonna look different tomorrow.
Well, no, and it's cool. Like, I think it's cool if we all using similar trading platforms or the same platforms, because then it again, like I said, it makes it easier, and we following along. So when I'm posting screenshots or whatever, what I'm seeing, even if I'm not posting a trade, y'all can at least all along if we on Zoom or anything, you know what I mean? I'm always like, the screen y'all seeing now obviously isn't the screen I have up on Zoom. I have the other screen, but I'm always looking at this one. You know what I mean? I'll have this one up. It may be multiple screens, multiple charts. And like I said, that other tip was even if you only have 2 charts on here, you can set up multiple, you can have multiple browser tabs open with as many charts like that. I think that helps out. So, but all right, y'all. Again, thanks for y'all time, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for $1,000 Thursday.
Sir,
Thank you.
Oh,
All right, see y'all,
all right,
man.
cool.
Thank
Appreciate you,
you.
Antoine.
No problem.